Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I am not a sexy, sweaty sax guy, but I did play alto sax in middle school. How you doing today, folks? Yes, another Diskovery edition of the Final Cut, and this one I'm very excited about as well. Another classic was released this week on the 4K Ultra HD format, and it is The Lost Boys. Oh yeah. Teenage slick vampires, Joel Schumacher, great cast. Another film that I love. I grew up with this film. I've watched it many, many times. The soundtrack is epic, and I had that on rotation in my CD player in my first car that I had, and it played quite often. And now here we have the new release of the Ultra 4K of Lost Boys, and let me tell you folks, we're in for a bit of a ride with this one. So enough of me blathering, let's take a closer look at just what this combo pack has to offer. So again, it's the Ultra HD 4K combo. So you've got that, you've got the Blu-ray, and you've got the digital code, which again, this one as well, like with the Poltergeist, will expire in about 2 years. Again, a great pick for the cover, that wonderful scene where the boys are hanging down underneath the moving train and woo! And, you know, scaring Michael and the whole 9 yards. And I love this cover, though. This cover just pops, and the silhouette and everything about it. Just seeing this one scene really is iconic and brings back a lot of memories. Love the color design and everything. This is a really slick choice they did with, again, coming up with an original artwork for the release. There's the spine for you if you like to see that. And here we are in the back of it. Kiefer Sutherland looking scary. And they've got some quotes like we usually see in here. We've got the summary and the list of special features, which are aplenty, folks. And yes, how you get your Ultra 4K experience. So yeah, the hip comic twist on classic vampire stories is absolutely correct and sums up Lost Boys well. I love this. I love everything about this film. Now, the back of it, yep, as well, here we have the same thing that we had with the Poltergeist, in that it does exactly replicate the slip cover that we have here, only this time we've got the credits going on. So that's cool to see. You got the full list of credits going on and the special features listed on the side for the back of it, and the front of it, again, features that wonderful scene with the boys hanging. Now, as far as inside goes, unlike the Poltergeist, we have two different disc colors going on. The Ultra HD is on the kind of maroon one, I guess, and the black colored one is the Blu-ray, where all the special features are. And let me tell you, folks, there are a lot. The film's like only 96 minutes and change, and I think they have more extra features on here, run longer than the actual movie. So yeah, very exciting. And of course, we have in here the Lost Boys. You can get your digital movie code for it. So let's hop on over to the menus like we do here on Diskovery, and check out what the menu has to offer. So here we have all kinds of things on here. There's this wonderful commentary from Joel Schumacher. And I'm going to say now, these extras were bittersweet. They were bittersweet due to the passing of some of the performers that we end up getting to see on camera in these extras. These were released before on a 2004 release. So a lot of the stuff, if you have that 2004 release, you probably have seen this already. But if you haven't, like myself, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by what it has here. But the commentary by Joel Schumacher, he talks about this film with such love and reverence and just fun and energy. It's really an exciting commentary to listen to while you watch this classic film. And I really enjoyed the commentary quite a bit. And then, actually, I enjoyed all these extras. I'll just put it out there now. Lost Boys, a retrospective, 24 minutes of interviews they did with the original cast, the Frog Brothers, Corey Haim, you've got, the whole it just was wonderful to see and hear how they experienced from their side making The Lost Boys. And some interesting anecdotes. Corey Feldman, of course, Feldog, if you will, adds a lot of snark to his. I know his dry humor shows through here. Now, this is like from 2004, so this is before he joined up and had his Corey's Angels and all of that. But you can still see it's got that Corey humor and sarcasm in here. Now, in the Vampire's Cave has a number of short chapters, which you can play all if you want. There's the director's vision where they talk to Schumacher and he gives behind the scenes of what he did to this film that initially started out as a vampire kids movie. It was very eye-opening. And then comedy versus horror, how do you mix them together? How are they going to be received? This really was one of those films that opened up the genre, I think, of comedy horror, where you could have serious horror moments and comedy, much like Fright Night in that vein. It very much has that spirit of Fright Night and would pair great with that for sure. And then Fresh Blood, a new look at vampires, takes a look at the fashion and the design and what they went to for how they kind of reinvented the look of a classic vampire story. And then the Lost Boys sequel is interesting to hear them talk about a sequel. Now, we know here many years later, they did do 2 more releases, and it's interesting to hear Corey mention about they were going to do one on the Frog Brothers, and did that come to fruition? Well, it kind of did. You don't really need to watch those other 2 films, even if you are a fan. But moving on, vamping out, The Undead Creations of Greg Cannon was great. You get a wonderful interview with the special effects artist who talks about him just starting out and the things he did to help construct the look of the vampires. And we get to learn the really grueling schedule and the makeup effects and the effect that it had on the actors, particularly the contacts that they put in there. Because remember, this is an older film before they had the soft contacts, so they go on quite a bit about that and how it affected their shoot. We've got the story of 2 Coreys where they get to interview both Corey Haim and Corey Feldman and give their perspective of how they felt working with each other for 6 films. I think it is 6 or 7 films, and interesting to see the difference of their perspective and how they viewed their friendship and how they viewed things, with Corey, again, not playing as serious as Haim, but it was a wonderful and bittersweet 4.5 minutes. Then Return of Sam and the Frog Brothers, the multi-angled video commentary by Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and Jameson Newlander. Jameson Newlander plays the other Frog Brother opposite Corey Feldman, and of course Corey Haim plays the new kid in town whose brother is turning into a vampire. That one, if there's ever an example of the difference between Corey and then Jameson, this one is it. You watch this, it actually, I think, plays out more like a 50, it's almost an hour altogether, because what they do is they take a section of scenes and then they take each one individually, each actor individually, and get their thoughts separately. So they're in separate rooms, right? So Corey Haim, you can tell he's not really used to doing commentary. He's playing it rather serious, whereas Corey Feldman is really just hamming it up, playing with his, with the snark, with the burns, with, roasting his fellow actors a bit, and just shining himself. And that would definitely get a taste of Corey there. And then you get Jameson Newlander, who's kind of in the middle, who just seemed excited about being in the film, talking about his experiences, but also being humble in spots and others where he was like, yeah, I really enjoyed this scene and what I did here. It was the 3 different perspectives really show you 3 different approaches from these actors in the same movie. Then we get lost scenes in here, about 15 minutes of it, but you can see why they were lost scenes in all honesty. And then we get Lou Gramm and a lyrics video for Lost in the Shadows, that wonderful say hello to the night. Sorry, got carried away. And of course, the trailer is in here on as well. The Ultra HD, a Blu-ray release of Lost Boys, folks, I'm going to say is so worth it. This film, this release here, if you haven't picked it up yet, either on Blu-ray or whatever, and don't have these extras, you really need to pick it up. When you've got this much content on here, some interesting behind-the-scenes stuff on such a classic horror film, yeah. And at the street price again of $24.99 for this combo, it is worth it. And you can do the digital code if you just want to watch the movie. But again, worth it for all the features as well, folks. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Please check out our Patreon, subscribe, bells and whistles here. I thank you for your support as always. And remember, keep that ticket stub.